My humble Vanakkam, Namaste, and Namaskar to the listeners of Bhakti Sangeet during this very, very powerful period of Malige Patcham or Pitru Paksha, which falls also in this month of Purutasi. In fact, this observance commenced on the 21st of September this year, and it'll go on until the 6th of October. And every one of the days in these 15 days of the dark fortnight has a special Tithi, starting from Tudiye Tithi, Tirudiye Tithi, Sadurthi Tithi, Panjami Tithi, Shashti Tithi, Shaptami Tithi, Attami Tithi, Navami Tithi, Dasami Tithi, Yehadesi Tithi, Tuadesi Tithi, Triodesi Tithi, Sadurdesi Tithi, leading right on to the Mahalaya Amavasi Tithi. So these 15 days are very, very powerful days where we actually demonstrate our indebtedness. We acknowledge our indebtedness to the rishis of Hinduism. We also acknowledge our indebtedness to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and, most importantly, to our ancestors. Simply put, Malige Patcham is a demonstration of love, benevolence, respect, veneration, and gratitude to the ancestors, as I mentioned, to God and to the rishis. We have responsibilities and we acknowledge these responsibilities to the living. But in the same breath, we have responsibilities to the dead, to the ancestors, and we acknowledge these responsibilities. We acknowledge this debt of gratitude during this period. Malige Patcham is not a question of belief or religion. What Malige Patcham observance actually demonstrates is that there are other dimensions to life, and also that the journey of the soul does not end with physical death. The Garuda Puranam and the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 7, states very, very clearly that all householders should perform Malige Patcham, understanding ancestors to be manifestations of divinity's potency. It therefore becomes abundantly clear that we should not perform Malige Patcham to the exclusion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how apt that we have to do this prayer, or we have to actually engage in this observance during the time when the greatest amount of attention is given to Mahavishnu, Govinda, because it was Mahavishnu himself who recited the entire Garuda Puranam, and Garudaji was the one who wrote it down and he listened. And this entire Garuda Puranam deals with the science of the soul and the journey of the soul after death. And this entire thing was related to Garudaji by Perumal Sami himself. So, during the Malige Patcham observance, fasting, reading of scriptures, singing the hymns from the Thevaram, the Tiruvasagam, giving charity, even reading from the Tirunama Padigam and reading from the Veerabhoga Vasandaraya Saritharam and the Garuda Pattu, all form part of this very, very important observance. Even giving charity and worshipping God, all form part of this Pitru Paksha or Malige Patcham observance. In performing this important prayer, one should never fall prey to the misunderstanding that elders are only appreciated or respected after their demise. In fact, every one of us is expected to respect elders, parents, grandparents, etc., whilst they are still in our midst. We need to acknowledge them, we need to validate their presence in our lives, and we need to appreciate their contribution to our total development and to our progress even in this lifetime. So it is a time that we need to value and acknowledge their contribution to our development. only then does the observance of Malige Patcham become meaningful. The observance of Malige Patcham involves intense bhakti or devotion to God, as does every other religious observance. In addition, devotees pray for the well-being of the souls of departed relatives, and they pray to their Ishtadevade. The Ishtadevade is the patron deity of the family. During Malige Patcham or Pitru Patcham, all one's activities are supposed to be in the mode of goodness. Devotees make water oblations for the full duration of the fortnight. Some also make offerings of Pinda Prasadam, that's rice balls, on a convenient day during Malige Patcham. And remember, the offering of sesame seeds, we call this the Yellam Tanni Tarpanam. Yellam Tanni Tarpanam is where the yellow or the sesame seeds are, or the till seeds, we call them, they are offered together with water and darba grass. Remember, the sesame seeds in the Garuda Puranam, in the Preta Kanda, in chapter 29, Perumal Sami, Mahavishnu Govinda Perumal himself says, that is my perspiration, my beads of perspiration, those sesame seeds, O Garudaji. Asuras, Danavas and Daityas flee from the place where these sesame seeds are kept. And this yellow or this white sesame, or even the black or the brown sesame seeds, they are known to destroy sins committed by the body. So, in fact, it is stated further in that same chapter that one tiny gingerly, or we call it also gingerly seeds, gingerly or the sesame or the till, or we say the yellow seed. One seed offered in the holy rite is equivalent to a basin full of gold sesame seeds. So in the Yellam Tani Tarpanam, sesame seeds are offered, and the darba grass, the darba or kush grass, some people say, the darba is actually born of my hair. O Lord Garudaji, Mahavishnu says, and Brahma is stationed at the root of this darba grass. Keshava, that is Mahavishnu, myself, I myself am stationed in the middle. And also know, O Garudaji, that Shankara is stationed at the tip of the darba grass. Thus, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, the three of the Holy Trinity, are stationed inside this very, very powerful grass, which we call the darba. So the offerings of Pinda Prasadam, the offering of the Yellam Tani Tarpanam, and also the offering of cooked food is usually made during this time. And people will put 3 banana leaves, being the order of the day. There is also the tradition of leaving some cooked food in a clean place in one's yard for the benefit of ants, dogs, etc. In other words, Vayalla, the Jivatmahal, those life forms that cannot express themselves the way that we do. In fact, there is a special Yaga Pratana or Yagyam that is performed, the Bhuth Yaganam, for all these Vayalla, the Jivatmagul. So keep some food also for these creatures, and the food offerings are an expression of gratitude to all things that govern our life. And food is very important during this observance. And if you can do some kind of charity in the way of food, feeding a hungry mouth or offering some food in charity, that will bring you a great, great deal of benefits. The renowned hero of the Mahabharatam, Karna, when he left the mortal coil, he ascended to the higher world. And the great charity that he had done here on this earth was returned to him 100-fold. So all the good that Karna had done here on this Bulogam, in this Manulagam, it was returned to him 100-fold. But it was all gold and silver. But there was no food, because Karna had not done any food charity. So upon praying to Yama Dharmaraja, he was sent back to earth for these 15 days to make up for his deficiency. And for 15 days, he fed the poor, he fed the Brahmins, and he fed everybody, and he even offered water oblations to everybody. And on his return to the higher plane, he had food aplenty. So if one looks at it, the offering of food during this time is very, very important. It is these 15 days that are commemorated in the Malige Patcham or Pitru Paksham or Pitar Paksh due to the grace of the god of death, Yamadharmaraja. And it has been ordained that offerings made during this period benefit all the departed souls, whether they were connected to you or not. So charity in the form of food is important during this observance. Life depends on food, and you cannot preach religion to empty stomachs. This human body is the most important vehicle for realizing God. And how precious must food be, which keeps the body fit for yoga and for all other activities, life's activities. The gift of food is then the greatest gift. Therefore, give food aplenty, not only during Malige Patcham, but whenever you do have the opportunity. Many people ask me this question: why should we perform this Yellam Tanni Tarpanam? Number one, it's a perfect period for karmic cleansing and to overcome our personal dilemmas, whether they be financial or material dilemmas that we might find ourselves in. It is also, these 15 days, it's a time to find happiness, peace, and prosperity forever. It is time to remove obstacles and sorrows from our lives, to receive protection from our mandar or pitrus or pitars, not only for yourself but for the family and the extended family. It is also a period to get wealth and boon of offspring from ancestral blessings. Blessings of our pitars or mandar or maranamadindavargal, those that have passed on, the ancestors, the blessing of ancestors is also for a long and a healthy life. So prayer during this time here ensures that you lead a life of health, wealth, and prosperity. So we are indebted to them in so many ways. So use these 15 tidis in order to do your prayers, and you'll notice that all the malefic effect of planets become nullified, and it is a very, very powerful period in the year, and it is so beautiful that it falls during the month of Purtasi. And I can assure you that the benefits from this prayer are tremendous. May your Malige Patcham prayer or Pitru Paksham prayer be a very, very powerful one, and may your ancestors bless you wholesomely and bountifully. Mikka Nandri. Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskar, Shukriya and Dhanyavad.